Hello and welcome to another Rumour Roundup, where we document the blurry sightings of Team Ico's The Last Guardian and analyse if everyone's favourite dog, cat, bird thing really is on the endangered list. From the off, development of The Last Guardian has been troubled. The game was originally scheduled for a late 2011 release, before being delayed until an unspecified time in 2012. Now, even that's looking increasingly optimistic. Even if we go back to the earliest stages of development, there have been significant changes, as drastic as the lead character even receiving a sex change. Originally, the protagonist was going to be a flighty young girl, intended to contrast very strongly with the massive and powerful Trico. However, Ueda changed things after deciding that all that climbing would provide too much opportunity for upskirt camera action. And trousers be damned, he's probably right. Gender reassignment aside, The Last Guardian is likely to be one of the most visually arresting games on PS3. Way back in March 2011, Ueda noted that the game was already pushing PS3 to its limits, and given the amount of time they're taking on it, it's only going to get better. Visual fidelity isn't the only goal either. Ueda went on to explain that he intended to create a character that's as perfect as possible, wanting players to really feel like the creature Trico is actually alive. The intention is to force an emotional attachment similar to that felt between Yorda and Ico and between Wander and Aggro. You'll also have to climb Trico, much like the giant creatures in Shadow of the Colossus. Although everything we've seen suggests that this will be a far more complex experience than an obvious cross between Team Ico's previous two titles. Crucially, the relationship between the characters will also change over time, with Ueda likening it to a game of rock, paper, scissors, where strength is relative to each situation. The boy will frequently need Trico to protect him from guards, but this relationship may be reversed. It's also a bond that develops over the game rather than being already established. Ueda describes Trico as wild and adolescent, and his expressive personality will add humour to the game. As exciting as this is, things began to look really grim towards the end of the year. Series creator Ueda left Sony in November, followed in December by executive producer Yoshifusa Hayama. Despite this, Ueda maintains that he is still working hard on the project, but in a purely freelance capacity. He also reassured fans that development is just business as usual, noting that he's doing in fact exactly the same job, but the terms of his contract have changed. Nevertheless, he's staying tight-lipped about the development cycle, revealing nothing about how far into production the title actually is. If this still all sounds a bit shaky, consider this. Sony's worldwide studio boss Yoshida recently added significant programming muscle to Team Ico by employing a load of Western developers, including members of Sony Santa Monica, the studio responsible for God of War. This step is likely to combat the technical difficulties that prevented the title from being shown at E3 this year, and while we haven't seen much of the game recently, the signs are good that Sony is still committed to its production. All in all, there's been very little to report since we saw that first moving trailer back in May 2009. However, Sony is making an appearance at the Tokyo Game Show this year, and we're crossing everything for an updated glimpse of the game. However, with technical difficulties causing so many problems and a new Sony machine on the horizon, we could speculate that we may not see the game this generation at all. It's a situation that echoes what we've recently seen with Beyond Good and Evil 2, and frankly, we're happy to wait if it means The Last Guardian lives up to the lofty expectations set by its predecessors. The word is that the game will ship when it's ready, with PlayStation software development head Scott Rode refusing to comment any further, except to offer his assurance that gamers are first, and the experiences we provide are first. Clearly he means talking first in terms of quality, not in terms of time frame. That's all we've got for you for now, but stay tuned to CVG for more news on The Last Guardian as and when we get it. And don't forget to rate, comment and subscribe.